So let's begin by adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position, settling the body. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure that we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to avoid slouching or leaning, but we also let go of any unnecessary tension in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. We cultivate a sense of letting go of the environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constraining that awareness just to the body and mind, concentrating it in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time, thinking of using this time to establish beneficial ways of thinking and acting, distancing yourself from tendencies and habits that are not beneficial, ways that disturb and agitate one's own mind and often give rise to actions that cause harm. Wanting to fundamentally transform the mind in this way in order to be naturally and spontaneously of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings over time. And then with that motivation, we will again draw ourselves close to the energy, the mind of Shakyamuni Buddha, engaging in a slightly different variation of the meditation that we've done before. But we do begin with the visualization. So we can think of ourselves as situated in a large open space, visualizing 8 feet away is a golden throne supported by snow lions. And upon the open space of the throne is a lotus, sun, and moon, upon which is seated the Buddha. His hair is blue-black. His lips are ruby red, and he wears the saffron robes of a monk. His body emanates an aura of golden light. So just bring to mind this visualization, thinking of it as invoking the living presence, the living energy of Shakyamuni Buddha. And we try to generate a mind of refuge. The mind of refuge has two components: the mind of concern, concern for the uncertainty of our existential condition, recognizing that at the time of death, our mind will take rebirth, and that process requires necessary causes and conditions in order to accomplish a good future rebirth, and that there is possibility of lower realm rebirth, and also recognizing that that's true of not just oneself, but of all sentient beings. This uncertainty motivates us to look for a genuine source of refuge. And based on our understanding of the Buddha as valid, undeceptive, having the unique qualities and powers of a fully enlightened being, we can identify the Buddha as a valid source of refuge that we turn to, motivated by that uncertainty. So, seeking guidance, seeking the protection of the path taught by the Buddha, and generate the mind of refuge. And if you'd like, you can recite the prayer of refuge. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. Then we cultivate the mind of bodhicitta, bringing to mind someone that we know in our lives who's struggling, opening our hearts to a difficulty of body or mind that they're facing. Understanding that Every sentient being is faced with obstacles and difficulties. So many are hungry, sick, affected by warfare, civil or political unrest, and there's so much confusion, anxiety, depression in the face of all this suffering. We make a determination to be of benefit, to try to relieve that suffering. And with that motivation, we'll recite the four immeasurable thoughts. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were able to abide in equanimity, free from attachment and hatred. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings had happiness and the causes of happiness. May they have happiness and its causes. I myself will cause them to have happiness and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, grant me blessings to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, grant me blessings to be able to do this. I think in particular I must achieve enlightenment quickly in order to free all the numberless sentient, mother sentient beings from the unimaginable oceans of samsaric suffering and causes of suffering, and lead them to the peerless happiness of full enlightenment. I think for this purpose I'm going to engage in the practice. Then we'll focus on the 7 limbs, beginning with the limb of offering. So I begin by thinking, what would I give? What would I offer to receive full enlightenment? Perfect wisdom, perfect compassion, perfect love, perfect power. Visualizing such an offering, visualizing it multiplying and filling all of space. I think that the Buddha is extremely pleased when the offerings absorb into his heart and generate great bliss. And the limb of confessing, thinking of the mistakes, the unskillful actions that we've engaged in that are not in line with our motivation for enlightenment, and generating a sense of regret. Cultivating a mind of laying bare these mistakes, confronting, not hiding, and then rejoicing in our own goodness, rejoicing in the goodness of others, the ordinary beneficial actions of sentient beings and the exalted actions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Arhats. Thinking how wonderful it is. So many ordinary and holy beings acting in beneficial ways. And then requesting the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, those teachers that we have a connection with as well, to stay, to remain with us until we achieve enlightenment. Continually acting for our benefit. And particularly requesting the teachings, and on the limb of dedicating, thinking of all of these virtuous thoughts, virtuous, meritorious energy being offered for the ripening result of enlightenment. And visualizing Shakyamuni Buddha in response, coming to the crown of our head, and streams of white nectar and light pour forth from his holy body and mind, purifying all of our mental obscurations. As we recite the Buddha's mantra, Tayato Om Muni Muni Mahamunai Soha. 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 and then think that we receive the blessings of Shakyamuni Buddha's body, speech, and mind, all the realizations of the path in the form of golden nectar and light as you continue to recite the mantra Taito Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Soha. Tayata Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Soha. And then visualize that the throne absorbs into Shakyamuni Buddha, absorbing into the lotus, sun and moon, absorbing into Shakyamuni Buddha. When Shakyamuni Buddha absorbs, dissolves into light, and absorbs down through the crown of our head, and a tiny replica of Shakyamuni Buddha alights at the heart center. And our body, speech, and mind become inseparably one with Buddha Shakyamuni's holy body, speech, and mind. And then we'll come back together and we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, created positive energy in the mind, and think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may that positive energy ripen as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment in order to work perfectly for the benefit of sentient beings. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled, and may I and all sentient beings come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.